Honourable, a title so revered, a word so powerful, it once demanded respect, dignity, and sacrifice. Today in Ghana, it is a title thrown around like confetti, used to describe anyone with power, influence, or wealth, whether they deserve it or not. From parliamentarians to assembly members and even party loyalists, everyone wants to be called honourable. In Ghana, it's a mask for mediocrity, greed, and betrayal. Let's stop pretending. Today, we strip away the titles and expose the truth. Are they honourable, or are they the architects of our suffering? You, the people, will decide. In this video, Chains Unbroken goes deep, very deep, to challenge the status quo. Get ready, because today we speak for the voiceless and say what needs to be said. The word honourable has a rich history. It originated in medieval England, where it was reserved for knights, lords, members of parliament, judges, and people who showed exceptional character. Being called honourable wasn't just about holding a position. It was about living a life of integrity, selflessness, and service to the people. The title had to be earned through action, not demanded because of power. It signified sacrifice, humility, and a commitment to justice. But in Ghana, the meaning of honourable has been twisted and watered down. Today, we use it to describe people who loot state funds, make reckless statements, and prioritize themselves over the citizens they claim to serve. Are these people truly honourable? Let's find out. Water, the most abundant resource on Earth, covering 71% of the planet's surface. Yet in Ghana, millions struggle daily to access clean drinking water. And while ordinary citizens are fighting for drops of water to survive, our so-called honourable leaders are living in obscene luxury. Let's talk about Cecilia Dapa, a former Minister of Sanitation. When her house was allegedly burgled, Ghanaians were shocked, not because of the crime, but because she had millions of cedis, dollars, and euros stashed in her home. Millions. All this while many of her constituents fetch water from contaminated sources. If water is life, why are our leaders denying Ghanaians the right to live? Shouldn't an honourable person prioritize basic human needs, like water over hoarding unexplained wealth? Or does honour stop where greed begins? In 2021, Parliament approved $28 million for MPs to buy cars. Meanwhile, water projects are abandoned because funds run out. Honourable or dishonourable? The rivers flow, but the people thirst. This is not leadership. This is betrayal. To every MP and minister who calls themselves honourable, I challenge you. Spend 1 week in a village where there's no potable water. Drink what the people drink, then tell us if you still deserve the title. True leadership is not about titles, it's about action. Thomas Sankara once said, "He who feeds you controls you." Our leaders feed on us, on our struggles, our taxes, and our hope, and use it to control us. This is not leadership. This is exploitation. In 2021, Parliament approved over 200 million Ghana cedis to refurbish their chamber. Yet, the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources struggles annually to secure enough funding to address basic water infrastructure. Tell me, what's honourable about this? How can you call yourself a servant of the people when your people can't access the most basic element of survival? Is that honour, or is it dishonour wrapped in a suit? Let's take a moment to examine some of the outrageous and reckless statements made by our so-called honourable members of Parliament. Frank Anno-Dompré told us, "If you are not happy with e-levy, you can relocate to Togo or Burkina Faso." Really a leader who was elected by the people to represent their interests, and yet you were bold to make this statement. Is this leadership or mockery? Honourable or dishonourable? Ursula Owusu said, "If you're sending 100 Ghana cedis to your mother in the village, what's 1 Ghana cedis 50 pesewas to you?" Really, in a country where many survive on less than 10 Ghana cedis a day, this statement shows a shocking disconnect from the reality of ordinary Ghanaians. Kennedy Agyapong told us, "If you don't want to pay e-levy, then stop using mobile money." Insensitive much? Mobile money is the backbone of transactions for rural and urban Ghanaians alike. This wasn't just a reckless statement, it was an insult to the struggles of the people. These are the same people we call honourable. Shouldn't honour come with humility and understanding of the people's plight? Our leaders love to reward themselves. In Ghana, mediocrity is celebrated. Leaders who do nothing but talk are given awards for excellence. Every year, they hand out plaques, titles, and medals to each other for so-called service to the nation. But what service are they celebrating when hospitals lack basic equipment, roads are death traps, and students sit on bare floors to learn? They build statues of themselves while children study by candlelight. Is this honourable, or is this arrogance disguised as achievement? True honour lies in action, not awards. It lies in the people's gratitude, not in plaques on a shelf. But our leaders prefer applause to accountability. In 2021, Parliament passed a budget for ex gratia payments, a whopping amount to thank themselves for their service. Meanwhile, the average Ghanaian worker retires with peanuts after years of hard labour. Is this what we call honourable? Isn't this the height of dishonour? Here's a controversial question. Were our colonial masters more honourable than our current leaders? Under colonial rule, schools, hospitals, and railways were built. Not for us, but at least they functioned. Today, we have independence. Yet our leaders have done worse than the colonialists. They abandon projects halfway, misuse public funds, and enrich themselves at the expense of the people. So, I ask again, who is truly honourable? The colonialist who built for his interest, or the leader who loots and leaves nothing behind for his people? Ghana, it's time to ask the hard questions. Why do we continue to call these people honourable when their actions scream dishonour? Why do we glorify leaders who prioritise their pockets over our progress? To our leaders, how can you be honourable when Ghanaians drink dirty water while you sip champagne? How can you be honourable when nurses go unpaid while you buy new V8s? How can you be honourable when you insult the intelligence of the people with reckless statements and shallow promises? Honour does not belong to titles. It belongs to those who sacrifice for others. The real honourable are the nurses who save lives with no resources, the teachers who educate despite broken classrooms, the farmers who feed us under the harshest conditions. Nkrumah didn't need an award to be honourable. He earned it by building a nation. True leaders build legacies, not excuses. They don't demand respect. They earn it through service. Ghana is at a crossroads. We cannot continue to misuse titles that should symbolize service and dignity. Honor must be earned, not bought, not inherited, and certainly not demanded. To the leaders watching this, it's time to reflect. Are you truly honorable, or have you betrayed the very people who trusted you? To the citizens, let's stop glorifying mediocrity and start demanding accountability. The title Honourable belongs to those who serve, not those who exploit. This is chains unbroken, the voice for the voiceless. Let's break these chains together. Subscribe, share, and let's spark the change Ghana desperately needs.